Hello and welcome to the All About You show with OMG and friends, where we talk about the things that you think about and some things you don't. I am your host, OMG, along with my co-host,
Daydream.
We're here today, family. We always ask that you join in with us today and that you please join in on the conversation where your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions help drive the conversation. Today we're going to talk about serial cheaters. Now, there is nothing new under the sun is what I'm going to introduce to you now as my monologue that I normally give. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 18 states, "Flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a person commits are outside of the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body." And yes, so there, cheating is yet another area that the Bible addresses. It is so accurate that it depicts a king putting his friend on the front line of war to be killed so that he could cheat, not only cheat with his wife, but also have her for himself. Now recall the story of King David and Bathsheba. That's the story we're talking about, which is one of the adulterous love affairs of the Bible that almost cost David his throne, his country, and even the wrath of God. Now another biblical incident was when the Pharisees brought a woman to stand before them to be stoned for having been caught in the act of adulterous activity. So as you can see, both men and women cheated in biblical times. Nothing is different. Broadly, cheating can be defined as being emotionally or sexually unfaithful to your partner who you are in a closed relationship with. Having intimate physical or emotional contact with another person is typically considered cheating. Is your significant other cheating on you, or are you cheating on them? The thing about cheating is that it is not just a mistake. It's a choice, and unfortunately is a choice that many people make a lot. We all know that being cheated on is probably one of the worst things that could happen to a person. But whenever the news gets out about the scandalous affair between your spouse and another, betrayal and angry are all parts of your immediate emotions. You are angry, you feel betrayed, you want to hurt somebody. With that being said, let's talk about cheating 4.0 or serial cheating. You know, cheating's been around a long time.
Yeah.
So again, there's nothing new under the sun. The Bible covers
It
everything.
absolutely.
It covers everything.
I wouldn't want to wish that type of
Pain on anybody?
pain or crisis on anyone.
See, I've never really experienced that.
See, I have, and it was devastating. It was disgusting. You know, when you're finding out details or you find out more and more, because of course it was just this one time.
Yeah,
or,
it didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything, or I don't know. It was, whatever the mistake was,
Yeah.
But as you continue digging, because as females, we want to know.
Oh yeah, we're investigating.
No, this doesn't make sense. Well, I need everything to make sense for me.
Well, if it makes sense to me, then I can get it.
So the more that was coming out, it got to a point where I was like, enough, just stop. I don't want to know anymore. I don't need to know anymore because we're done.
Was this a long-term relationship? Or just
Yeah,
something short?
we were together 5.5 years.
Really?
We were together 5.5 years. At the time, he had 2 kids. Okay, he had 2 boys. By the end of our relationship, and that's why the relationship ended, was because I found out about this other chick. By the time all of that ended and I got to a point where I was just like, just stop telling me anything. And this was from his family members. I mean, because we were together 5.5 years.
So
I went to his family church.
Yeah,
his nieces, they would come hang out, And so during one of those conversations, because he was still making it seem like to his family that, him and I are working things out and I'm getting over it and we're going to be back together. His niece called and was like, don't get back with my uncle. He does nothing but just have kids all over the place, this and this and that.
Heads up.
Yeah, and so by that point, I was already not in communication with them. She had reached out to me. I was just like, well, that's him. I don't know what he's saying. No, we're not. We're done. I don't want anything to do with him. But by that point, because this was already months after we were done, there was at least 3 other kids.
Wow. Well, see, one of the things I wanted to bring up was illegitimate children from cheating.
Yeah,
that's got to be a major
had kids
situation.
all over the place, evidently.
Well, because again, those relationships are not solid
relationships not at all.
That they are engaged in. It's just a happenstance, and gives a product of that particular happenstance of that night.
Yeah.
And then some of them are long term. I guess you have long term cheating and you have
Well,
short term cheating.
The chick that I found out about, that I initially found out about, he was in a relationship with her.
Oh, so that was long. Oh,
They were living together, and him and I were together for 5.5 years because we had never lived together. I've never lived with someone I've been in a relationship with, because my thing is, if we're going to live together, it's because we're preparing for marriage.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not going to just, let's just live together because it's cool. You know, we really want to be together. And he was out of town because we were together when I was in college. So I graduated and moved back here to Houston, and he was still there.
Where he was, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
so
well,
it was real easy for him. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and it was just so embarrassing. I was embarrassed. I was disgusted.
That's why I said you are angry.
I mean, I could not hold food down. I physically could not hold food down. I would try to eat, wouldn't even think about it. I just could not. I was just so disgusted. And then, you know, you get scared because it's like, okay, well, now I need to go to the doctor. I need to get checked. Now it's a whole other slew of
everything
things
that was
going
ever said to you now becomes a lie.
Yeah, everything that was ever done, you start dissecting every single action, every single moment in your relationship.
Most of them was a lie.
Yeah, and it was right there. And
I don't know
to top it off, his family knew. The entire time, his family knew.
Well, he was probably bringing them. See, I don't get that. I don't get these family people who play
and I
both
get it.
sides.
Their loyalty is to him. I understand that. That's his blood, his family, his mom. But at the same time, I'm like, really? Like...
But, so do you think once a cheater, always a cheater, or can a cheater change? That sounds almost like a
right. My immediate opinion is once a cheater, always a cheater. And in his case, yeah, that's all that was going on. Because like I said, the one that I found out about, he had been in a relationship with him. Her and I had several conversations. And so she let me know how he was presenting himself to her. And then, like I said, then you find out about kids that are going on. And it's like, okay, we've been together 5.5 years, but you got a 2-year-old. You got a 9-month-old. You got a newborn. Okay? So she let me know how he was presenting himself to her, and then you find out about the kids. No, ma'am. We did not.
That happens a lot.
No, we didn't get together. We didn't get together. You know, it wasn't until then that I understood the rage where you say, why would she go crazy, or why would he go crazy over her to bust out windows and do this? I get it.
Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah,
I totally get it. I completely understand.
I can almost see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I want to hurt somebody, especially if you have been forthright in a relationship. You've turned down flirtatious acts from men just to be loyal to the game that you're in with this person.
Yeah, you know, you make sacrifices.
Doing something, right?
You know, you're sitting here making sacrifices, and you're doing it genuinely.
Yes.
You know, going through the motion of life
and thinking you're monogamous.
Right.
That's the part that I don't like.
Absolutely.
You're thinking you're monogamous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I even, had to go to the doctor and got full-blown tests. Everything, markups, all of that, and the doctor asked, hey, okay, so what's going on? And I let her know, and I was just so emotional talking with her to explain to her what was going on. Look, this is what happened. I found out I was cheated on. So she was very empathetic, her and the nurse. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, it was just devastating. It was horrible. It sucked,
Well, family, we'll have to come right back. I think it's time for us to go to break. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Original Light Radio Network.
I wanted to.
I wanted to.
I'll catch a case. That was the first time I'd ever just really experienced what rage was.
It's anger. You really want to hurt somebody. I think these things sometimes is their rites of passage.
That? What did you say?
Yes, I think sometimes they believe it's their rite of passage.
Oh, and see, I almost kind of feel like I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but at the same time, I kind of feel like some people, it needs to happen so they could learn exactly who they are.
Okay.
Or even learn how to appreciate other people.
So they should be in an additional relationship?
No, just saying that some I wouldn't want anyone to experience being cheated on just because of how devastating it was for me. So I wouldn't want that for anyone else. But at the same time, I also feel like people need that experience.
Ooh.
20 seconds.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that.
10 seconds.
And we are back. You're listening to the All About You show with OMG and Friends. I am OMG along with my co-host.
Daydream.
And we're talking about serial cheaters. And you know when you say serial, that makes it habitual.
Right.
I mean, it's a little bit more than just something you do occasionally or just
Right. Now,
an inadvertent fling. It is serious. when you're a
right.
serial
Now,
cheater.
whether you are the cheater or the
one being
cheatee,
cheated-
the
Right.
one being cheated on, give us a call at the studio. Let us know what your experience was like or your reasoning behind doing whatever it is what you did.
What-
713-789-0096. And thank you so much for everyone who's already following along on our Facebook feed. We really appreciate it. But share your comments, share your opinions on this issue.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking off air, and like I said, that was the first time I had experienced and understood what rage
I told
meant
you,
and what it
you
was.
can catch a case behind something like that.
When they say blinding rage, that is
That's
true.
why you'll
It's
never know
blinding
what
rage.
you will do in a situation. People say, "Oh, I'll never do that." Never
No.
say never.
Never say
You
never, because
can-
I was always
you
one.
can
Oh,
go
I would
on.
never sit there and try to
You will never
go find him,
Right,
and I wouldn't bust out your windows or go slash tires. It's not even worth. Oh no, I completely
I wouldn't
understand
do that, but I have.
No, I didn't.
I have gone out with friends. Now you know, girls, y'all know about this. You go out with your ride or die. You go out and you make the drive by.
Yeah, no, I've
done the
been in.
drive-by,
I've
been in the
been in the
drive-by.
vehicle.
I've
I've
done
taken
like
that
some-
that
yes, I've done
that
that.
trip.
I've driven the car. You know, when
Yeah.
you take me with you to get the car,
Yeah,
I've done that, and I jump in the car and drive the car off. So
Yeah,
it's
you know-
that's the girlfriend loyalty thing. You have to.
yeah, absolutely.
down
I
with that.
have been the one to be like, you really want to wear them shoes? I mean, they're
you
kind
really
of.
want to do that. Yeah.
Why don't you wear these other ones? I've
Yeah.
been that
I had
person.
ninja stuff. I had all black stuff.
Yeah, I've been that chick. I
But
mean,
that's
I
how
was
women
was
go.
one in a group of 5
women go hard
riding,
when we go. Yeah.
riding. You know, it's college years, so riding from Huntsville to Navasota because someone picked up,
You're
some female
looking.
picked up some other dude's phone. So it was like, oh no, it's like, well, you can't let her go by herself.
Right, you gotta have your crew with you. So y'all girls know what I mean. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys roll like that, but we roll with a posse.
Yeah,
we gotta
yeah,
go.
absolutely. So, but I also, you know, like I said, I would not wish that type of pain or disgust. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But at the same time, I also kind of feel like people need to go through that because we no longer,
What do you teach? What do you?
we
what do
no
you
longer
taught from
have-
that.
because we know as people, as humans, we no longer have compassion for each other.
Oh, we
we no
don't.
longer have empathy for
No.
for each other at all. And so that experience taught me a lot about myself, but it also taught me a lot about how people are.
They really don't give a damn about
No,
you,
not at
what
all.
This is
Not at
Unless
all.
you realize
You know,
that, then
And
you can act
yeah,
accordingly.
that really hit home where no one looks out for number one. No one looks out for you other than number one. You are your number one.
Well, I notice all of that when divorce is around.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. You know,
Mhm.
it's like people that you thought were your crew.
Right.
Oh no, they're gonna go with the money crew, but then that doesn't last long because that was all wrong and deceitful, and the person
Right. And
with
karma.
whom you—that's right—and the person with whom you're trying to align yourself with, they look at you like, but you were her friend. Why are you over here? You know, so
Right.
it creates that dichotomy in friendships. But I can see where it makes you second guess because that's a big trust issue.
Oh, absolutely.
That's gone.
Absolutely, and that doesn't just okay. Well, you get over it. No, you don't get over
No.
it because then it doesn't just come into relationships like with a significant other. It comes into play with every relationship that you build because
Because you'll go in. There's an old saying: once bitten, twice shy. So you'll
Mhm.
walk in kind of reserved and not really giving of yourself like you should in a relationship because you've been hurt once, and so you're kind
yeah,
of
you've seen
reserved
this
and
play out before.
pushed away from the table.
Absolutely. You've seen it play out before, and people will be like, oh, you have trust issues, you have this. Well, no, it's not that we have trust issues, it's we recognize patterns, we recognize a behavior, and the last time that we just
You
blew
saw
that
it,
one off,
you
or
saw
just
it,
thought,
but you
okay, yeah,
didn't-
it's nothing. It's not any big deal.
Right.
It turned out that was just the very beginning of everything.
They had a big scandal, I guess not, well, scandal if you will, for lack of a better term, for the celebrity thing with Nicole, what was her name, Nicole Murphy,
Eddie Murphy's wife.
ex-wife,
Mm-hmm.
was
Yes,
caught
ex-wife.
with Layla Rashad's husband.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in Italy somewhere. Now, the only way I know him, I think his name is Antoine Fuqua.
Okay.
And so the only thing I think he's known for is that he was the director on Training Day, which is probably the Denzel. movie and all that.
Okay,
But
yes.
anyway, this particular guy, they're in Italy somewhere, and you catch these couple of kisses.
Mm-hmm.
So when she was questioned about it, naturally her whole thing was, no, well, you just happen to be here, the two of you, on this island.
This
in Italy,
coincidence,
on
huh?
this coincidence. So I'm truly believing, from having read something, that Layla Rashad, she was the one that was in Harlem Nights.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think sometimes women, because you get so fed up, you want to take a spin on the game. What she ended up doing was putting together two of his women and had them calling each other.
Right.
Okay, and I think with this most
To
recent,
unravel his little web.
absolutely,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
with this most recent one with Nicole Murphy, is that I think neither one of these people, Nicole Murphy nor Antoine Fuqua, neither one of them are newsworthy in any great capacity. So somebody had to sick the paparazzi on them, or
Right.
be there to catch a picture, because they're not that important.
Right.
You know, to whom they are married to.
Right.
Of the
Those are the
celebrities,
people.
Layla Rashad and you
Yeah.
know, Eddie Murphy. But I read somewhere that her last child, I guess, turns 18 or so.
Mhm.
So Sister Girl's out on the hunt trying to get her money. Because once that child support ends at 18,
Yeah.
she got to find something to do.
Well, yeah.
So I guess she's doing people's husbands.
Oh.
And so
That's
then
one
that,
way.
Then that brought Lisa, what's her name? Lisa, what is her name? Can't think of her name. Lisa Ray.
Oh.
Apparently she messed with Lisa Ray's husband
Diamond
as
from
well.
the Players Club.
Yeah,
Wow.
you know Lisa Ray don't play. So apparently this is kind of method of operation for Nicole. And I guess it's hard when you get that reputation of being the side piece, or
Right.
and you've
The
been
home wrecker, the this or that.
Yeah.
See, and that's another thing that I take issue with is when females find out that their significant other is cheating, they right away want to get mad at the other
They
female.
want to fight
Why?
the woman.
For what?
Right.
The chicks that he was with and laying with, they had no obligation to me. They didn't know me. They didn't owe
betray
me
you. They
anything
didn't
at all.
betray you at
That
all.
was him who
Right.
stepped out,
They
not
didn't betray
her.
you.
You know, and the first chick, you know, her and I, we spoke. We didn't meet up. That was not going to happen. I was not that big of a person. I'm young, in my 20s.
You don't know
that
all the different
I didn't need to.
scenarios that
Yeah,
can play
I didn't
out
need
at that
to.
point. Right.
But she couldn't get it in her head, in her ignorant head, that I didn't have a problem with her. You know, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to her. I wasn't trying to call her out of her name. Now, of course, conversations happened, and it got to that point because she couldn't get it.
Well, because
When
women
I
are
was,
we're so
you know, I'm like, it's
enraged
not,
at
yeah,
that
it's like,
moment.
it's not even about you. I said, I'm just trying to find out what was going on while him and I were together. You know, I said, but I don't really have a problem with you because I don't know you, you know? But she couldn't get that through her little stupid head.
Well, you know, people again don't always, they're not thinking properly when that happens. You just go probably off into we're talking about women and how they respond once they
Found
Yes,
out their
yes.
significant other is cheating.
how that's the first way to catch a case. What do you know about this?
Oh, it is.
Nothing. No. I may know a few things.
Okay, well,
about
come on,
that.
that's what we talk about.
Well,
This is
I
things
do.
we've been
I
doing.
get this. I know of a situation, and now this was not mine. I know my life has been a bit colorful, but this situation is someone that I know of. This is many years ago, where it was a certain man, and he had a high-powered position, and he had a side piece who worked at the same place. You know, that he did. The wife finds out, threatens the woman, puts a big dagger in her door. When it comes
I
up
told
to
you the
comes
raid-
up
the
to the
raid.
comes up to
Yeah.
the job, was hunting her
Oh, they get-
like a wild animal. The woman was hiding under the desk, afraid, and
I can imagine.
brought a gun up there to a major corporation. Of course, big trouble happened. He ended up losing his job because of this situation. and I think she, the side piece, I think it maybe even had a child or something. But it was a horrible.
I can get
It's a
that
scene.
if I know this shit. You're supposedly my best friend. You're in my circle. You know
I've talked to you about him.
who we are. Yeah, you know we're in a relationship together, and you still continued, and then you still want to be in my face like nothing.
Well, see,
That
that's what
I
I
can
don't
get.
like about women, because
That I
they
can get.
will flaunt something in your face. Because I used to tell people this, and you guys may not appreciate this. When a woman goes after a man, she's not going after the man because of you. She's
Right.
going after the man because of the woman that he's with. That's a direct competition with her.
Right.
They're not really thinking.
You want what?
Yeah,
you want what I
just-
have.
That's it.
You always want what somebody else has because
And
you,
you're
it
not
seems
really-
glamorous.
and you're not even concerned about that man. He's just the captain,
Happens to
right?
be the-
To
yeah.
be there, because your whole thing is with the woman. And I speak that because I have heard, in situations where someone would say, so and so act like she cannot be replaced. And see, women will say that in your presence at your events. I mean, they'll say stuff because they're challenging you. We already did a show on women hating women,
Right,
hating
yeah.
women.
So this is part of
So this is all part of
the
that.
hatred
And so,
personified.
Right. So that's why a woman goes after another woman. You'll bust him upside his head later. But right now you want
And
a
you
piece
will
of her.
do that to
You
him.
want a piece of her for right now.
I'm not gonna fight
which
over
is
it.
not good. Which is not
I'm
good.
not.
Because see, first of all, I think
I'm with you on that, Deirdre.
I've always anticipated something, if that were to happen, how I would react. I just said that I would leave. I would just turn around.
My
and
young
leave.
days I would have, but that's like high school stuff. But as an adult, no, because
I think I would just leave, because
Right.
you caught with all this, all that's yours. You take all that, wrap it up, and take that home with you, and then
Right.
I just because see, the rage is what's expected. The rage only keeps you in an emotional upheaval the entire time.
It's also a blow to your
blow
self-esteem,
to
your
your
confidence.
self-esteem. Absolutely it is.
Because then it's like, well, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me?
Right.
Especially when you see what
they go for.
what they were with.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
no.
go, it's
Oh.
amazing.
Yes.
They
I mean,
Well, listen,
ghetto trash,
you
trailer trash, snaggletooth.
stanky.
Those are three different chicks.
Jacked
Okay,
up
RJ,
hair.
while he's over here laughing, those are three different tricks. Yeah, I said that right.
Yeah, you said it
okay,
right.
that was right. Three
5
different-
crack babies.
Okay,
But
trailer
know-
trash, ghetto trash, snaggletooth. Yes.
But the sad
Hair
part
jacked up.
is that you could have a very beautiful woman like the men that are married to, like say Beyonce or Halle Berry. And any other gorgeous woman. That's still not
That has
enough.
nothing to do
That's
with
nothing
it,
to do
right.
with it.
Right.
So in other words,
J Lo and P
that's
Diddy.
my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's rumors or stories that she used to go banging on hotel room doors to drag him out of there. Why? Why as a female would you even stoop so low and embarrass yourself?
Because
I'm not gonna chase after a dude. I'm not gonna fight
see,
for a dude. And
this-
I've told my man that. I've told him I'm not chasing you. You want to go somewhere else? Bye.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
let me know, cause I don't have to put any effort.
Just
Let me know
what
so
the
I can
rules
go
are.
to the movies or go get something to eat.
So what?
Instead of waiting around for
I'm
you.
not waiting on you. Okay, our engineer has a smirk on his face. What is that about? You want to tell us one? I know you got one.
I mean, I ain't really have anything to say really, but I was just thinking like, some reasons why dudes cheat and they don't like to admit it, or they choose the I guess the ugly broad, is because they might feel, they don't want to admit it, but they might feel unappreciated, not appreciated at home. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Or maybe they not getting enough, sex in the
at the time.
bedroom, or
That's- that's-
cause what they say, show the crown, ride on. You know what I'm saying? So maybe
That is good.
yeah. So maybe it's just that the fact that well, I know for a fact for some guys they just not.
Feeling
They're not
appreciated.
getting it. They're not getting
But
attention
then-
that they
but
want.
see,
Because
what-
women want attention. That how they say women want attention all the time. Guys want attention
I
too.
can get that, but see, women who pay attention. Sometimes I know friends who have, and you probably have this, and you've probably done it in your relationship if you had this situation. You do everything for them.
Yeah, so
You
this
cook,
in this
you
case,
clean, you're
that was
submissive,
none of
you're
that.
subservient.
He was just a
Because
dog.
oftentimes
That's all.
it's not that.
That's all that was.
Because women are we pretty much on our game. If we got a man in,
That's what I said. It's
he's
kind
locked,
of
he's in
excuse.
lockdown.
Although
We
I've
do
heard
everything.
that,
No.
what I've heard that, what the engineer is saying, but many times I know the situation. I'm like, no, she is paying attention to you. You're not being fully
Sometimes
honest.
it's not that.
You
Right.
just
Yeah.
say it.
Because
You
the
just
first
say
You're
thing
being
that.
greedy. You're being
being
selfish.
greedy.
The first
being
thing,
selfish.
the first thing a man who's cheating with my wife, she doesn't understand me.
Whose fault is
Okay.
that?
Who, did you marry the person or what? Are you still
Nah,
with them? What?
I will say, like, on the other hand, I was going to say, on the other hand, like, you know, of course, there are the dogs who are just like, you know, want to, you know, do whatever they want.
Yeah, right.
And flip around. Like, those are the hypocrites because, like, I know a dude who's like that. He's like, he's been in a relationship with a girl for a long time. And, like, she's caught him on the phone, you know, texting other girls, cheating on girls. All he does is flip around. Why you going through my phone? You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah.
That's in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah,
Always.
Yeah, he'll
That's
try
part
to
of the
flip that.
protocol. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you catch me? Oh, my
Yeah.
attitude will be way bigger than yours.
That's an invasion of my privacy.
So then
Yeah,
that's
and
it is.
see,
How
and
dare you
pins it, he
disrespect
pins it on a
He flips the script.
on a BS excuse. Like, cause I remember he told me, I was like, man, don't you feel bad? You know,
No,
doing your girl
no,
wrong
that's his
like that.
game. He
And
don't
no,
care
but he
about
uses, and he like other men, he uses a BS excuse. He'll say, well, I just remember, you know, how I got played one a long time ago. You got played one
So now
time,
you're
bro.
mad?
Get over it. You know what
Okay,
I'm
but
saying?
why does
And was it
everyone
her?
else pay?
Was it her
No, it
fault?
wasn't her.
It
I'm
was
saying,
somebody
yeah,
else.
So what he does, he takes it out on other women because
Right.
of that one time that he got played because his
Right.
male ego got hurt at the time.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not a man hater. I mean, I'll chew them up, spit them
Oh,
out.
yeah, but they had
but
that man eater.
that just means you're not for me.
Then do cheaters hate women or are they intimidated with women? Or neither?
Both.
I was thinking what Daydream said. I think maybe there is some hatred in there, but you can't hate them too much because you're very much attracted to them and you want them and you really long for them. But maybe you hate the fact that you desire them so much. So maybe that's what you hate and you take it out on them by hurting them. Thing is, it's like, all right, I hurt you. It's just like the guy he mentioned that hurts his woman all the time. He's taking out his past pain, which he refuses to get past on her, but then it's still not enough. He still hurts her again.
Thank you.
I blame her. Why the hell are you sitting there taking it? See,
Right.
The best
You
remedy, the
show
best
people
remedy
how
for
to
that-
treat you.
That's right. You teach them how to treat you. And the minute you get to a point where I'm not being serviced the way that I am giving service
You
to
gotta
you,
go.
Yeah.
I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
I don't do a whole lot of
You gotta
discussing.
go.
I don't do a
And
lot
I'm
of
letting you know.
arguing.
That's
no
my
arguing.
thing.
I
I
will-
let you know.
I will do a military pivot. Is when you flip around right in your own footprint and get the hell out of there.
Right.
No
I'll
drama.
let you
none of
know,
that.
and that way you know. You can't say, well, I caught it with somebody else. Now, some devious women would make sure he walked in on her with his best friend screaming louder than she ever screamed with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would teach him a lesson. Say, well, you know that pain you put me through? I haven't gotten over it. And Buster
here's
over
yours.
here is helping
See, I
to
don't-
assuage my pain.
I'm not cool with the revenge thing.
Because people can
Karma
really
works
get hurt.
itself out.
It does.
And
If
I
you
don't
just-
want that on me because that
Sit
too,
back.
that revenge that I played out is still gonna come back to me at some point.
You think?
Absolutely, I feel that way. So I will let karma play itself out. I'm not
laws
gonna
of the-
give you any more energy because you don't deserve it.
The laws of the universe does kind of take care of things. And then you have these married men that are on. Don't they have dating sites for married men?
Yes,
in order
absolutely.
to cheat. What is that?
For married
Well,
men and we're
Because you have those females who they're okay with being the beta. I just need a little bit. I just need this because you're going to provide for me because you want to make sure that I keep doing for you what you want me to do, and I don't go tell wifey. I don't disrupt your little happy home. So some chicks get off on that. You know, they like unavailable men because that's exactly what they want.
That
They
way they're
definitely
not-
have
they're
daddy
not
issues
accountable
in my
for anything.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you have commitment issues, and you have self-esteem issues. That's my opinion. for
Yeah,
those chicks.
it may be the self-esteem.
So a cheater, you think, is insecure or narcissistic? Which
I would say,
both of the
yeah.
two?
You can be an insecure narcissist.
I don't know. That's almost an oxymoron because I think because a narcissist, you're
But
not
you-
insecure. You are way full of yourself when you're a narcissist.
So
Yes.
you're
overly engaged with self-absorbance and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of that.
Yeah,
The
but you
insecurity, you're a little.
Yeah, but
timid,
come on,
a
look
little-
at Trump. He's such a
Oh, he's-
narcissist, but look at his shortcomings. You know, he's got the
Well, he
smallest
doesn't-
hands I've ever seen. Okay,
Somebody says
he's
yeah.
fat. All right, he's not good looking.
Not at all.
He has not aged well at all, and that's that karma. I
Yeah,
can tell you, he has not
Yeah.
aged well at all. Because you look at Trump in his young days compared to now.
Yeah,
it's like,
I
oh,
think, but the
bad.
hair is what does it for me. I don't understand. But he's just rude. I think he's insecure. Well, I retract that. I
really-
retract that. I think you can possibly have characteristics of both, because your insecurity is what probably fuels your narcissism, because you need that to feel good about yourself. So you lie, and he is a habitual liar.
Yep.
I mean, he's told, I think in the last couple months, they said he told 10,000 lies probably in 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so he just, you know, has the insecurity of feeling like, well, he's got money, so
So he can do
he
that.
can do that.
You know.
So do cheaters require a different partner just for sport, or do cheaters go back to the same one girl and it becomes a side piece? See, cheating, I think, is not something that you do in a long-term relationship, or
Right.
do you?
Well,
As a
Is
long
cheating-
for the serial cheater, I would think, no, it probably is
different-
more the short term. I feel like it's crack.
Right, that excitement.
I kind of, yeah,
That
I
one
kind of
time
equated
hit that
to
gets
that
you.
one time good.
Okay.
And they may revisit that person again or something, but they have to keep moving. I think with the serial person, they have to keep moving. With the regular non-serial type of cheater, I think they do long for the side piece. And the reason I'm saying that is because of the amount of married men that approach me. And even when I call them out on their sin, I said, so listen, you wanna waste my time and you want me to like it for free? Granted, they put their heads down in shame. They can no longer look me in the eye.
Okay,
But
they
still did not apologize and say, you know what, this is wrong. He's still asking for a relationship. That's what he's asking for. He's asking me to be a side piece, and he wants me to be okay with it. And again, I'm not talking about one or two guys. I'm talking about
Wrong
men
shit.
over the years.
Yeah.
So and when I put it out there like that, like I said, they will look down in shame because I know they're ashamed of themselves. But none of them has ever walked
They're not
away
too
and
shameful.
said, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. They're not too shameful.
Yeah.
They're shamed for a minute, but then they still come back and,
But see,
well, can I come by?
but see what you won't
no.
do. There's 4 others.
That will.
Right, and that's fine, but the thing is, that's not the serial type of cheater. That's the person who wants to compliment the wife. Like there's everything about the wife he loves. He's not
Then what'd
going
you
anywhere,
marry her
loves her.
for? If
Then-
she's
but
not,
then he wants a side piece as a compliment to the wife.
no, I feel like
As a
if they
cherry
do
on
that
top.
Yeah,
because
cherry
that's
on
what
top.
they need to feel like a man. You don't feel like a man for some reason, and you feel
And of
like
course,
let me
that's
swing
his
it
prop-
here and
that's
swing it there, and
But
that's what's working.
But I'm saying that to me describes just the basic regular cheater. He does look for a relationship, whereas the serial person, it's his crack. He's
You just go,
cheating
yeah,
crack.
Okay.
You got to go on and on and on and
Yeah,
on.
the
and on.
excitement on Monday
Yeah.
caught. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm bored with you.
Yeah, and then I'm
But
going
then
on to
is
the next
cheating somewhat of just a sport? You know, I guess same
Maybe
as
for
a
the
sexual
some.
addiction. A
For
sexual
the,
addiction,
right,
same
for the,
thing.
and that serial cheater could be addicted to, again, that's why I said crack, because they're addicted to the sex, they're addicted to the excitement, they're addicted to the newness of the person. I have a friend who always likes new things, and every time I turn on, she's getting rid of old things and buying new things. Like the stuff barely had dust on it that you already had, but I like new things. So that desire to have things new, you'll spend a lot of
But
money.
new is
You'll
only for the
you'll
moment.
run up your credit card. That's what I'm saying. To get
Because
rid of it.
tomorrow, that's not even new
Okay,
anymore.
well then with 6 months, that
Yeah.
person is buying something new. But they
That's a
said I
shopping
like new,
addiction.
they like new things.
You know,
Yeah.
because
Again,
there's
correct.
retail
It's
therapy.
okay.
You know, you go out and
Yeah.
you buy things, and you know, I did that in trying to get over it. You know, I was like, okay, because
feels great.
this feels good, this looks good on me. You know, it's nice. I have nice, new, pretty things.
But you go back to working on yourself, I
Right.
think, as a result of a cheater,
Right.
because now you're feeling insecure, you're feeling inadequate, so you have to go and beef yourself up. Because as you mentioned earlier, in a situation such as that, it does affect your self-esteem.
Right, and they do have counseling for people that are going through that. And I really thought it was a poor excuse at first. I heard sexual addiction or a cheating addiction, but then after I studied more and kind of talked to people again. The amount of men that approach me, I mean, a married man will knock a single man out the way and getting in my face. And when you go out to places and there's scores and scores of people, half of those guys there by themselves have wives at home and they're on the hunt. They're looking for something.
Well, that's
Some
their
of them are
nature.
the serial cheaters, and
That's
then
their
there's
nature.
some of them
And the
that,
ones who keep their rings on, it's like,
yeah,
damn, you didn't even have enough respect to at least try.
yeah, they'll
But
still have a wedding band on.
I think sometimes women are turned on by the wedding ring.
Absolutely.
Because as long as they see that, they know that this is a part-time,
yeah.
superficial
I'm here
thing.
to just
because
have fun,
Yeah.
this
he doesn't
and
have
that.
So
to
the
try.
sisters always
Nah.
people that are
I would
accepting
not-
that there's a market. So there's a market for the serial cheater. there's a market for the person who just longs for a side piece. And again, I've known guys that had long-term side pieces, probably the side piece longer than a wife. But I mean,
Well, she
long
wasn't the side piece
standing.
then. He didn't have a wife.
Yeah, but I'm saying he
Just
still
his
had
girl.
he had a wife and had been in that side piece relationship
For so long.
for so long. It was
Yeah.
I just like they're still together, you know. And
Yeah.
of course, but again, he had that same side piece, and again, I even just like I said, and my world is minuscule. Just the amount of married men that are just out there on a hunt looking for a compliment to what they have at home. I'm being nice about it when I say that, but something to compliment what they have at home. I think it is an
extra,
addiction.
just something extra.
It's-
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I do have a friend who, his brother has a wife and kids, and he's got his girlfriend, his family with his girlfriend, and it's been going on for like 20 years.
I've experienced. Well, see,
and they have he has a
Well,
whole
see-
second family.
A whole second
well, see,
family.
they're sister wives, right?
No,
Okay, because where I come
two
from,
separate
where I come
households,
from
two
back
separate
east.
sides
He's
of town.
supporting.
Okay. Oh, he has two families. Well, I've actually seen where back east we had a brother, and he had his wife that he had been married to for years, had kids with her, and then he started dating a twin. Okay, the twin moved in with him and his wife.
So
that's
his
that
wife's twin
No,
or somebody else's?
somebody it was two. Well, yeah, two sisters, but one of them moved in with him and his wife, and so it was like a little threesome. She was the sister wife. The first wife was the one who had all the power, kind of like no different than concubine. I mean, you just got somebody
No.
else, but you have everything under one household. Why? Because these women got together to decide we want to keep him here. So what they do is they get together, the side piece and the wife become
Friends.
friends
Become sister wives.
yeah, and live co-ed situations. They take turns sleeping with, and they both had kids with it.
Was it encrusted in diamonds? I mean, was
No,
it
I
just?
don't
And they all take care of the
They
children.
all take
don't
care
they?
of the children. It's like a
No,
wife and a
my-
sister
no.
wife. But
No,
see,
that just makes no sense. to me.
that happens more than you know, and I think a lot
Yeah.
of Muslim situations are
Yeah.
such as that.
Right. What you're
Mm.
describing is the Western way of doing it, and then the other way with the polygamy, it's all open. That's the Islamic way, or I think the Amish do. They
Amish
practice
do it as
polygamy.
well.
They practice polygamy also.
But do you think it's realistic to this? Is cheating precipitated by boredom from the same person that you have to be with for years? I don't know that marriage should be lifelong.
And I disagree that it precipitates
I
because
do.
again,
I think it should, but I don't know that people. Well, that's why you have cheating.
I don't
Somebody
think
wanna-
it's precipitated by boredom because again, with the amount of men and some guys I just asked, they just said, "Well, no, I'm not bored at home." Said she's wonderful. Said, I mean, she may be able to do a little better in some things, but I'm not necessarily unhappy.
Well, if you're satisfied with
man
her, why are you
saying that.
completely satisfied with her? Then why are you looking for something else?
I asked that same question. They don't really have an answer. They just said, "Well, I
'Cause
like
they're
you. I
greedy
like
and
your
selfish.
style, and I just want to be with you." Which
because
to
I
me-
can.
be-
That's why. Because
So,
I can.
There's no answer. Again, it may be the addiction thing, and maybe they need, instead of trying to get counsel in a sexual way from a stranger, they need to see a therapist. Because again, it's like crack. Sex can be
Well, you
the
know, crack
excitement.
addictions and all those things can be overcome, and not all
Yeah.
of them require.
You can get a check too if you're a crack addict. You know, if you're a drug addict, now you get a check for it.
Are you
so now you can
serious?
get paid. Yes.
I think like a crazy
Oh,
thing.
you're right. we appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll be right back after this short break.
You're listening to
I gotta hear about this crack shit.
the conversation.
Crack
Pretty much
shit.
is. Yeah, get disability. You can't hold anything down because you're a
You
drug.
are listening to the
Correct.
Richard
And so you get
Show.
rewarded for that with the check.
Yeah.
The crack shit.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Yeah,
That is our world.
It's kind of backwards, but
Kind of.
Like I said, I'm just intrigued by the whole thing as you, and I'll ask him like, well, and I'm not arguing with the guy. I'll just say, okay. I just said, your wife is pretty, you know. I said, I've seen her. I said, she seems nice. I did a problem. He said, no. Everything's fine. She does everything. She cooks very well. Takes care of the kids. No, he can't
It's
really.
just,
he
it's
not
just sometimes you don't,
satisfied with
dudes
it?
don't want to miss out on other stuff. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
they
Because
see
greedy
somebody
and
else
selfish.
with
That's
that.
what I just
Yeah.
said, because
And a
marriage
guy
is
did, but a guy
long
did tell me that
term.
when he said, look, I see so many beautiful women. He said, I just can't control myself.
That's my
He
point. That's what I
said
just
that.
said.
He
Because
said,
marriage is one person a lifetime. that's a blessing. I have friends that helped, raise me in my community years ago. They've been married 70 years. They're both 86 or something like that. They've been married 70 years. I think if you find that right person, it's
10 seconds.
It's probably the best thing you can have. But the average person looks at marriage like same woman, 20 years, same this.
And I would say, you know what? And you the same person, so don't get so.
That's true,
Don't
but
act
see-
like it's just them. What about looking at you? Some
Well,
people,
see, that-
don't get so full of
And
yourself.
we are back. You're listening to the All About You show. I am your host, OMG, along with my co-host.
Silky smooth.
And Daydream.
And we're talking about, again, serial cheaters.
And for those of you following along
Yeah.
on Facebook, thank you. We appreciate you tuning in. But y'all know y'all are some cheaters out there.
Okay, you know they're out
You've
there.
been caught. Those of you
Confess.
who have those joint Facebook accounts or social media accounts, why?
Two
Why is
phones,
there that
2 or
trust
3
issue there?
phones,
Yeah,
something like that.
absolutely. You've got 3 different profiles. Give us a call at the studio, 713-789-0096. I mean, it's the truth.
Confession is good for the soul, people.
Absolutely.
Call us and tell us. You gotta confess. We gotta listen. You know what I mean?
Now, question. Who cheats more, male or female?
Men.
I don't know.
I don't know because
Now we're catching up. Slowly,
I'm
we're
gonna say-
catching up.
no, we
Women have become...
I have always felt we're better at it. We pay attention to details. I think what it is that we're now becoming just bold. Men don't care, so why should I care what I'm doing?
Y'all become bold, and some of y'all become stupid too.
Okay, true enough. So I believe women cheat better, but I believe men cheat more. And now, like you said, the numbers are catching up because now women, you have something that's called the hypergamorous woman,
I got a good one.
and she is the one that knows her worth. She's not going to chase a man
Right.
because she knows clearly he needs to be at the level that she's on. But when you just have women, and a lot of these men go out and get women that are less than who they are to make them feel bigger and better about themselves, and so they don't feel so bad when they have a side relationship with somebody that's not equal to the wife.
Right.
So you have all these different
I got a
emotions that are
good
there. Go ahead.
I got a good one. It's someone I know of that did get caught. Her husband walked in, and she was on top of his best friend, a frat brother.
Ooh.
And she said, he looked at her, and she said, "It's not what you think."
What?
He had brought home flowers and everything. He said, I walked in the door
It's not
and I
what
opened the
you
bedroom door,
think.
and there it was my frat brother, and, in my bed, and my wife was on top of him, and she looked at me and said, "Listen, it is not what you think."
And she believed
And
that.
I looked at- She
Just
said
like
that to
Shaggy,
him.
she comes
It's
in
not
the
that
bathroom
she
floor. It
believes
wasn't
that.
me.
Yeah.
She said, "Listen, it's not what you think." While she didn't get up now. They didn't stop. And he said, he just turned around and shut the door. But I just laughed. I said, "I gotta try that." Well, listen.
No,
I know
see,
this looks
that-
bad, but
that's-
it's not what you
That's
think.
something you will get hurt behind. See,
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's some hurt stuff. That's right in the middle of stuff.
He said he was devastated. Yeah.
Is he still friends with his frat brother?
Well, I don't know. I didn't get an update.
Well, at
I
some
forget.
point,
Still
when that's
checking.
the
I know
case,
they, yeah.
these men may get together and hit hands on that. That may not be that big of a deal. Oh yeah, you had it. Yeah, man. She was, you know how they are. You laughing, but
Bros
yeah,
are friends.
right. I mean, you
Maybe
must
so.
be fret. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you know,
And I've had guys tell me their
Fred-
wives were
Fred-
cheating,
and
then
Fred
they knew.
may know that the husband has got some stuff on the side. So you
Right.
don't know who knows who's dirt.
Right.
So sometimes there's a lot going on
But
in those streets.
Let's go back. The husbands knew that their wives were cheating or had some,
Well, as far as this is a friend of mine that I've grown up with. He told me that no, it was not like that. He was shocked. He said he cried. He brought home flowers. He said he was devastated.
Right,
He didn't expect.
completely
He didn't,
unexpected.
it was complete for him. It was completely unexpected. And all she said to him was, it's not what you think. But he said they did break up after that. And I do remember him saying that he and his frat brother did stop speaking.
That
I don't know if
reminds
they
me-
eventually came back
That reminds
together
me
as
of the
friends.
song Mr. Big. What was that? Wasn't that some song?
Oh yeah, with ironic eyes,
Brothers.
he catches his
Right, so it happens, and
catches his woman with R.
yeah,
Kelly.
He was good.
All the irony,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that cheating is okay outside of men thinking it's their rites of passage to go through as many women as they would like? Do you think that it's somewhat genetic, hereditary, for lack of a better term? Because if you grow up in a household where a man abuses a woman, where a man cheats on a woman, oftentimes that son it affects the daughter as well.
Yeah.
They may get into that same type of behavior, feeling like my
Right.
dad did it.
Right. Well, yes and no, because you lead by example. So if that's all that you've
That's all that
known,
you've
for
seen.
you that's what's normal, and you don't see what's wrong with it. You're not understanding
I think it
the
could
hurt and
go both.
pain you're causing someone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also have those people who, because they grew up in that type of household, they were determined to not live
Yeah.
that way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I,
Well,
I
it can
saw
turn out
that
both.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard,
And I
heard
think
people
that-
say,
that was-
I saw what it did to my mother, and I mean the son saying this, and I don't want to do that. How she cried all the time, and how it hurt her. And I saw him. I thought
See,
he
and
was
I-
doing, and I hated him for doing that because he hurt my mother. I've heard kids say that, and
Yeah.
they did
Yeah.
cheat and didn't want to cheat because they saw
Because they saw what the
really
internal
happened in the
what it
family,
does.
and he really, the cheating father is really cheating on the kids too, because he's not really there for them, because he's focused on his own
Well, he's cheating
side
on-
pieces on his world. He's cheating
Right.
on their family, so the kids resent him because they see like,
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
you created this unstable environment.
Right.
Mom's not here emotionally because she's trying to get herself together.
yeah.
So you're not here emotionally
And
or even
physically.
physically because you were too busy trying to juggle too many women.
And two families.
So we're stuck here.
With this, and I got
Eating
brothers
crow.
and sisters. I don't claim them, and we don't have a relationship. I'm not trying to get to know any of those folks, so. You create problems. You really
Yeah,
destroy
absolutely.
your family from the inside out. That's the
When it
ugly
implodes
side.
at that point.
It implodes.
Right.
It's destruction from the inside out. And to me, that's the worst kind.
See, and when I hear guys talking, or even my guy friends talking about, I hooked up with this chick, okay, but what about
So
you?
they discuss it. That's
You know,
what I'm talking
you're with someone. It's one thing when you're dating someone. Okay, you're dating, you're getting to know each other to decide, is this really what
Something
we want to
you
do?
can do, right.
Can't continue. So if you're
Right.
dating someone else also, okay, that's different. But if you're claiming someone as your woman or your man, and you're still over here stepping out, I always ask them, I said, well, how would you feel if that was your daughter?
Hmm.
Or
think
you
about
have
that.
daughters. How would you feel if if
They
your
don't
daughter
think
brings
about
home you one day?
Well, that's what's going to happen.
You know?
They don't
They don't
think like
about
that.
Yeah.
They don't think about that because her guys don't think about that. And I say, well, don't you have a
Yeah.
daughter?
what is it?
Don't-
What is it?
and
Oh,
I
you
said
think about it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you're not a
some people
cheater.
do, but some people do, but a lot of them don't. And I asked guys, I said, you have a daughter, right? Now, how would you like it if the very thing you just described that you just did to me, someone does to her? And then they'll get quiet. I said, well, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
somebody's daughter. Maybe you don't know them, but I am somebody's daughter.
Yeah.
Usually when I get him down, but I have to get a guy one-on-one and he's looking me in the eye, or I've walked away and he's apologizing and asking me why I'm not taking him back. And I'll say, well, you got a daughter over there. And someday, how would you like it if what you just did, somebody did that? I'll do this and all that. I said, well, you know what? Maybe I should call my uncles on the phone and tell them what you did. I'm somebody's niece.
Yep,
I'm
somebody's
somebody's
sister.
sister.
Yeah.
I'm somebody's daughter. Just like she is. And when you say it like that, then sometimes a person will think, well, yeah, you know what? It's my
May hit
precious
home
daughter.
at
I
that
don't want to
point.
see her
Yeah.
get hurt.
Are cheaters turned on to other cheaters, or do they want someone who is quite the opposite?
Cheaters got a nerve to want faithfulness. Can I say
That's-
something? My niece,
that's
right?
That's why I said that.
That's
exactly what I
thank
was
you for
looking-
checking
that's
in.
exactly what I was looking for. I truly believe that cheaters,
They've got the nerve.
they don't want a cheater.
No.
They want somebody who's loyal, fit the bill. You're in this little box right here, and you stay here until I pull you out.
Right.
And talk to you.
Because a drunk approached me once, and I said, well, why don't you date a drunken woman? I'm not a drunken woman. He said, I don't want no drunken woman. I said, but you're drunk all the
You're
time.
drunk.
I don't want a drunken man. And he's looking at me like, well, no, that's all right for you to have a drunken man. I don't want a
The
drunken
woman
woman.
needs to take care of me. No, I don't.
No, if you're drunk, I can't control you.
You're a grown man. It's not my job to take care of you. It's my job to compliment you.
Yeah.
But I think I kind of believe.
Yeah, they've
that
got the nerve to want faith. They've got
they
the
want faith. Yeah,
nerve
I would
to
think so.
want
I would think so
faithfulness.
as well. I just wonder if there's any sort of therapy. I mean, because naturally they're gonna take you back to your mother. If you sit down, we should have had psychologists here to kind of give us a tip on that. But
Right.
I'm not sure what kind of therapy you can engage in that cause you not to cheat. I think it's something that's innately within you. I think it's,
Right. It goes back to our basics, to our foundation. You don't treat people that way. You treat others how you want to be treated, and you just don't treat people that way.
Well, this world, the one we're living in now.
Right. And I feel like that's why people cheat a lot now in their marriages, because you got married not because they're the right person, well, because they were good enough.
Yes, kind of settling. if you will.
Yes, you know, and in their mind, oh, well, I love them. No, you really had a lot of feelings for this person, but that wasn't the one.
Right.
Your
you know,
soulmate type thing.
Yeah, you just
But
you
sometimes
don't
you-
like being alone, you know, or well, everyone else is getting married. I'm over here by myself, and
Well, then that's not a reason to get married. because
well, you know,
everybody
they're
else is
nice.
Well,
They're a
see,
good
when you
person.
have
There's
that is the beginning of a disaster right there.
absolutely, but you tell yourself this is good enough, and yeah, we'll last. So yeah, you're gonna look somewhere else because they were never the
They
one
were
for
never
you.
who you were supposed to be with.
Yeah, they were never
so
the
you're
one
never
for you.
satisfied, so you're still going to go out. So I think,
Right.
I think you're right.
Let's-
about that.
There's I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to check in. We've got several visitors that popped in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taya, Monique, Mauricio, Judith, Gloria, Patrick, Adi, Eric Crooms, Tyrone, let's see, Joe,
A lot of new people.
a lot of new people.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. Really,
And John
quickly,
Gilmore, thank you for checking in with us.
before we end the show, I wanted to talk about something that we read about. It's called paper clipping. Okay, and supposedly it's a new trend that happens. Well, you know how we have people who will ghost us. You go see someone, you know, you're dating someone, y'all go out or whatever, and all of a sudden they just kind of disappear.
Yeah.
Well,
Goes
paper
away.
clipping is when they decide to pop back up out of nowhere. Hey, how you doing? What you doing?
Well, somebody did that to
Where
me
you at?
yesterday.
Yes.
He's paper clipping me.
That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
and then you never hear anything from them for periods
So
of time,
what-
a stretch at a time. So the term came about to this chick on Instagram was doing drawings, and her name is Rothenberg. That's her last name. So she shares. You know, frequently shares illustrations online showcasing the ups and downs of dating in 2019. And one of her recent pieces features Clippy, the annoying digital assistant belonging to Microsoft Office. Do y'all remember him?
He's a
How he would just
paperclip.
pop up?
Yeah.
he was a literal paperclip.
I
And he
see
would
you
just
writing a
pop up.
resume. You need my help? No, you paper clip. Get
You're
out
right.
of here.
He would pop up out of nowhere, and then
the
you're like, just
paper
like, go
clip
away.
guys with legs
So that's
and-
how the term came about.
So that's
because
the new dating trend. It's paperclip.
yeah, you know, they come up out of nowhere, and we talked about that. I had someone who hit me up in my Snapchat. I had already let them know, hey, I'm dating someone, we're together. They still kept trying to, well, let's go eat, let's go hang out, or let's go do something. And I'm no, I'm
And
good,
no.
no. And then finally I stopped responding to them. Well, here it is, like 6 months later, and he hit me up the other day,
So he did-
like,
he
hey,
did
what's
paper-
up? How you doing? I'm great, but
Why are you
why are
paperclipping?
you
See,
hitting me
now
up?
you
So
know
I
What's
just
going
got
on?
paper clip.
Oh, it's okay. It happens.
Okay, it happens.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please make sure if you missed any of the show, go back onto the Facebook feed. The conversation continues just because, it doesn't end just because the show ends. So please continue the conversation. Follow along on our Facebook page at OMG and Friends. Hit us up on Twitter at All About You Show. You can also get past shows at our website at www.allaboutyouShow.info. That's all about you, the letter U, show.info.
Today's show was brought to you by Image. I make a great employee, executive, entrepreneur, professional etiquette training seminars where life skills meet social graces. For more information, consult Image, the new release book, and also www.yourbizimage.com. That's www.yourbizimage.com for more information. Thank
so
you.
until next week, I guess we will see you on the radio.
That's right.
I think we may want to talk about these wealthy people that are getting their kids into these schools for free.
Yeah.
Yes,
Definitely.
since the semester school's about to start again. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it'd be appropriate.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for checking in with us.
I haven't seen Greg. Is Greg here?